Thank you, everyone. A long time no see here. Thank you again for the chance to testify on this legislation today. Going a little different direction. I think one thing to start out with, obviously there's been a lot of discussion about the effect on students with disabilities, and Representative Dietrich, you just asked the question, is there language in the bill that addresses that? I think to some extent the absence of the language in the bill is because there aren't really any changes being made to the rights of students with disabilities under this legislation. So, it's something to be, something to think about more, and obviously important concerns have been raised, but I think that the express goal, at least in my mind when I'm reading this, is that we're not changing any of the rights that students have under IDEA or under the state law. So, Wisconsin's teacher retention crisis is well documented. Nearly half of teachers leave the state or the profession within 6 years, according to the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction. And we know some of the primary reasons this is happening. We've discussed some of this earlier. A recent Milwaukee Journal Sentinel analysis found that personal safety was among the top reasons cited by 887 staff members who have left MPS in recent years. And these personal safety concerns are not theoretical. We heard from Mr. Buck earlier some of the real concerns that he's had. We've heard numerous stories over the years from teachers across the state who've been physically assaulted, who've been threatened, or otherwise subject to persistently disruptive classroom behavior with little or no administrative support. The bills we're discussing here today address these challenges by restoring basic order, authority, and support for teachers while balancing local control with decision-making and parental rights. In particular, this bill clarifies teachers' authority to maintain classroom discipline, remove persistently disruptive students and violent students from the classroom with respect for the students' rights under any IEP, and receive administrative assistance. Requires re-entry and intervention plans so that students return to the classroom and receive appropriate behavioral support. So we're not just doing what we heard earlier and having a student right back in the classroom, potentially with a lollipop as a reward for misbehavior. Protecting teachers from retaliation when they act in good faith to maintain safety or discipline. So I think, this is one of the important things we hear. A lot of teachers will talk to us and they'll reach out to us, but they do it behind the scenes, and they don't want their name associated with this stuff because they know there'll be retribution potentially from administrators. We're all incentivized to keep discipline rates as low as possible. We also require schools to develop and adopt policies to ensure clear, consistent responses to disruptive behavior. And as we've talked quite a bit about, ensure parents are notified when their student witnesses are involved in any disruptive incident on school grounds. Together, these reforms provide clarity and support teachers need to do their jobs safely and effectively. This bill protects student achievement and learning as well. As Superintendent Underly has acknowledged, Wisconsin's kids are suffering from losing quality teachers. We know keeping quality teachers in the classroom is the primary step when we're thinking about improving student outcomes. But when teachers don't feel safe and can't manage their classrooms, learning suffers, and they may even leave the classroom entirely. And students absolutely cannot afford to lose quality teachers at this time. National data shows 12th grade math scores have fallen to their lowest levels since the NAEP began in its most recent iteration in 2005. In Milwaukee, we see 23.8% proficiency in reading and 18.9% proficiency in math. We have similar results in districts like Beloit. And if you talk to teachers in these districts, disruption and classroom chaos is absolutely a key part of the problem. Again, not like we talked about earlier. It's not the only problem, but it's a key part of the problem. This bill also strengthens parental rights and encourages transparency between schools and parents. Statistics have shown again and again that the most accurate predictor of a student's achievement is not income, social status, or racial or demographic, but rather when parents become involved in their kids' education at school. We've heard about how can we get more parental involvement and how this bill might actually help in making that happen. Transparency builds between families and school facilitates parental involvement. Assembly Bill 613 also has similar transparency policies as 614, and we ask for your support on these because it's a comprehensive bill that creates structure for public schools to develop a plan for addressing disruptive and violent students and incidents, supports teachers in managing their classrooms, and ensures parental notification when incidents do occur. This bill, in our mind, strikes the right balance. It supports teachers, helps students, and restores confidence for parents. Parents deserve to know what's happening in their child's classrooms, especially when it's disruptive to learning, and to know that the law stands behind them. Students deserve a safe classroom that fosters their success and that the law stands behind them. We've talked a lot today about the racial achievement gap and how we've heard about how minority students are disciplined at a higher rate, but oftentimes the reality is that when disruptive students stay in the classroom in these, unfortunately, not very diverse classrooms that we have in a lot of areas of Wisconsin, it's students of the same demographic background that suffer the most. So Wisconsin educators deserve to know that when they maintain law and order in the classroom, the law stands behind them. And with that, I welcome any questions.